so beautiful, and I tell her every day.
What's going on, what I say? Welcome back to my channel, and we are doing another Married at First Sight review. We're on episode 15, I think day 47. So I think there's about a week left before decision day. And let me tell you, this episode was a trip. It was funny because it was nice to see them all together, but all of the couples are disintegrating. Like, why is everybody falling apart at the teeth? Like, what is going on? Even the couples that were kind of, yeah, they all know, I don't know what's going on. Everyone is having second thoughts. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we're going to start with Vincent and Bree. Right now, you know what? We're going to start with Clara and Ryan. I think they were the most boring couple this time around. So they go out on a couples retreat, or what did they call it? They didn't call it a coastal retreat. There was someplace near the sea. And, in the first night, Clara and Ryan weren't there because they had to work, so they came after. So when they came, before Ryan get there, Ryan calls it like family vacation 2.0, because he was just like, the first one wasn't good. The first one wasn't good, and then they flash back to Chris getting on and acting like a damn fool. Guys, it's like 5 a.m. in the morning. It's a Friday, and I have water because I have work in a few hours. So anyways, right? So Clara meets up with the girls. They're in the kitchen. They're making breakfast for their husbands, as wives do. And she's talking about how everyone keeps asking her if she's losing herself and stuff like that. And has anyone else experienced something like that? So Brianna said like somebody wants to ask her. But Clara, the problem is you want the klika in. You want to have sex with your husband. And that is natural. That is what married people do. Married people have sex. And your husband won't touch you. So, because you're so physical, I would think you're losing yourself too, because who's trying to be in a relationship 47 days deep, calling it a marriage, and it's your best connection, and you ain't feel the you ain't feel the schlong yet? Like, where they do that at? First of all, this is probably so raunchy for 5 a.m., but that's fine. So she's talking about, we're moving slow. It's okay for us to do stuff like that. And I was just like, no, Ryan is not moving slow. Ryan is acting like a lame man. Ryan is dragging his feet under the guise of, oh, trust. No, that is unacceptable behavior. So she's doing all of this and saying, like, each relationship is different, which is facts. But, like, she's saying these things as if she's saying them out loud to convince herself that it's okay that Ryan has not touched her. But it is not okay. It is not okay. He's perplexing. I am very confused. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's doing it. But it is weird behavior. And no, you should want and desire sex from your husband. You should want and desire sex from your husband. There should be no dragging of feet at this time. Like, this is decision day. Like, how you know? Anyways, you get the point. How do you know that it's gonna be good when it's time to be good? He's not intimate, so you could probably throw that out the door. You guys have very awkward moments. Like, the awkward silences are just like, So then, how do you know? Like, how do you know he's gonna be able to provide for you in that way if you don't bang bang boogie real quick? Then they go out on their date. I think their date was a paddleboard. Yeah, paddleboarding. And they ended up going somewhere else and having like crackers and cheeses, I think, or fruits. It was something, child. So Clara is talking and they're discussing decision day. And Ryan is just like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, Ryan, you need to expand your vocabulary. I don't know if you don't read enough, but please pick up a book, because yeah and sure is kind of played out now this season. Like, you need to use the English language to your benefit. There are other words out there that exist. Please use them. Because that yeah and sure, like, he's not actively listening to what she's saying. He's not actively listening to what people are saying. It's like a response where he's just like, yeah, I hear you. When you brush someone off, that's tired and played out, really. But then they get back to the house and Dr. Viviana has given them like a task, and their task is to write themselves a love letter. And listen, Clara is such a deep soul. Clara, this sis cried from the start to the end of her letter, expressing her love. And I was just like, girl, you soft. Like, like, why are you crying so much? But like, she's crying so much because like she wants to hear these words, and she feels like she's expressing herself through her words, and she's not getting anything back. Like, she needs to hear it. And I know, like, her love language is words of affirmation. Like, she needs to hear it. Words of affirmation and physical touch. Like, she needs those connections, and he ain't giving it to her. Their love languages are so polar opposites. But then Ryan wrote his letter. I'm thinking Ryan about to tell us that he loves sis. Ryan said love Ryan at the end of his thing. You know when you're like sincerely yours? His was like love Ryan. And I'm just like, Ryan, that's not the same thing. Love Ryan is our close. It's what's it called? Salutations? That's salutations. You need to tell your wife that you love her, or that you're in love, or that, you know, like allude to some progression happening, because this is not it. But at the same time, when you listen to his letter, he sounded as if like he loved her, but he's just not expressing it. But then it makes me think like he just doesn't know what love is. And then it makes me think like, are you a virgin, Ryan? Because it's fine. Like, be open about that. That's fine. Or are you asexual? Like, something is up with him that is just weird. And he needs to, I don't know. Anyways, but then they're having dinner from the crabs that Haley and Jacob picked, which you guys will hear about when I'm speaking about them. And, you know, they're talking about what changes are you guys going to be doing for moving in with each other and stuff like that. And Ryan talks about bringing some comic book strip poster thingy into the bedroom, and she was just like, yeah, that can't come into my bedroom. And even Jacob with his quirkiness was just like, yeah, that doesn't sound like bedroom material. I'm just like, tell him, Jacob. Like, Jacob is out here co-signing it, because I'm just like, where are you going with that? Are you 12? You want to be married and out here acting like a kid? No, that's not what we do. So anywho's, let's talk about Vincent and Brianna. So first of all, Brianna opens up the episode talking about the fact that she might need to stop to pee 4 times before she gets to the venue. And I'm just like, girl, like, what kind of bladder do you have? Like, that was so weird. That was like 5 times. Like, she's that kid you have to be like, do you need to pee before you go on the road trip? Like, no. So we get to the venue, and, you know, Haley has made dinner, and Vincent is sat at the table talking about the fact that he's gained like 18. So I was like, maybe he's saying 18 pounds, because what other 18 can there be? So he's gained 18 pounds, and Haley jumps in and she's just like, oh, well, if you are happy together, you gain weight together. Yeah, that's true, but we need to lose weight together too now. Like, we can't just be out here getting bigger and bigger every day. Only the love should learn to get bigger. But then they discussed like, what have you learned in marriage so far? And Brie was just like, she's learned patience. And Vincent was just like, damn, has it been that bad? But she was just like, no, like, she's not naturally patient, so she has learned to be patient, which is a decent thing to learn, because I don't know if I'm very patient either, but like, it's a necessary trait to have. So yeah. Then Vincent started to talk about how that what he's learned is like not being so reserved. And I was just like, yes, Vincent, we know you're reserved and childish and a scaredy cat. As you guys would notice throughout my review, Vincent is a scaredy cat. He is afraid of everything. Like, he is so awkward. Like, he doesn't like experiencing new things, which is interesting. But okay. So we then learned that Vincent is afraid of horses. They're in bed discussing it, and she's just like, if I knew, I wouldn't have picked that experience. But he was just like, you know, it's just the fact that it's such a big animal, blah, 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 blah. But he said he will try. And I was okay. I could imagine that it is a genuine fear. Horses are like essentially my favorite animal. I don't think I would be afraid of horses. I might be afraid of getting on one in the beginning, but no, I don't think I'm afraid of horses. It's fine. So, but it's a big animal, so I could see why he might have that type of fear in him, so it's fine. But when they went out to their date, because their date was horseback riding on the beach, it was gorgeous, it was beautiful. Like, I liked it. I liked that date. And it took him a while to get on the horse, but when he got on the horse, I was just like, if this horse ever gallop into the water, listen, that fear is gonna be sent right into him. Like, he ain't never doing this again. But turns out he don't plan to ever do it again because he didn't like it. And I'm just like, okay, Vincent, like, you're very much a stick in the mud. I don't know if I like that, but okay, cool. He is a punk. He's a scaredy cat, but so am I. In certain instances, in certain cases. So you know what? To each their own. You know, we're both Leo, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So they're sat down. They're talking about like the experience and trying new things, and Brianna is just basically discussing like, oh, trying new things and, you know, experiencing new things that are just not normal to normally be experiencing. And Vincent will basically like would you swim with sharks? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. And her face is just ugh. But then she goes into confessionals and she said like she wants to experience life with her partner and blah 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 blah. So she doesn't know if she could really sign up for this for the rest of her life. And I'm just like, listen, I get that. Because if I tell my guy, let's go and try to dance salsa, and he kicking off because he can't move his foot fast enough, what are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be enjoying yourself. Have a giggle, have a laugh. It doesn't need to be perfect. But he's so stiff. He doesn't know how to have a giggle or a laugh or banter about it. So, I mean, like, does she want to deal with that for the rest of her life? I don't know. Would I want to? Definitely not. Definitely not. So then when they get back to the dinner where they're eating the crabs or what's not, they're discussing what are you gonna do after decision day. And Vincent is like, he's moving back home. And Brianna is just like, first of all, your house is but the size of a matchbox. Listen, she said, yeah, I don't want to really move into a 1-bedroom apartment. And I don't get her wrong, because who wants to live in a 1-bedroom apartment? Does that make me sound like a snob? I don't know. I don't live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I wouldn't live in a 1-bedroom apartment really, because like you can't put nothing anywhere. like it's just like your bedroom, especially like in the UK. Houses here are tiny, but yeah, I wouldn't want to live in a 1-bedroom apartment. That wouldn't be like my first go-to if I'm trying to live in an apartment. So I don't give any wrong. Like, we need space. We need to be able to do certain things, have an office, like those type of things. So yeah. And Bree was just like, she doesn't want to feel like he can just make decisions, even though she makes decisions without his input. But her decisions are very minuscule in terms of, oh, let's try horseback riding. Whereas he's just like, no, we're going to my house to sleep in my room in that 1-bedroom house. Yeah, that's not flying. But the last day when it's time to go home, I could see what Vincent is talking about. Bree let that man sleep. She wakes up so damn early and having a full conversation first thing in the morning. Like, have you brushed your mouth yet? 1. 2, who has that type of energy in the morning time? Like, I'm like, who wakes up and have that much energy in the morning time to have a full conversation? No tea, no water, just wake up talking. Like, no, we not having a dialogue. Our brain is still asleep. At least mine be. So now I understand what the man is talking about. She gets up and she's ready to go. Like, slow down, sis. Slow down. Nobody wants to talk to you in the morning, like, immediately. Like, allow the man. Yeah, ugh. Like, I was just like, could you let this dude sleep? Oh. Okay, so now we're on to Eric and Fireball. And let me tell you, if nobody else's relationship is falling apart by the seconds, theirs is. Let me tell you how Virginia and Eric are in the car driving up, arguing. And then Eric is arguing because he doesn't like that Virginia is now expressing her true emotions about their marriage on camera, or he doesn't like when she gets onto him on camera. I'm just like, dude, this is a TV show. That's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to show us what's really happening. And now it makes sense, because they were always like, oh, we're great. All then they want to wring each other neck off a camera. No, show us that you guys have problems. Show us, because people have problems. It's okay. So he's upset about her showing her real feelings on camera. And then he expresses some more stuff. And then when he was finished, he was like, okay, good talk. I was just like, ugh, I could just kick you. I could really just kick him. I do not like Eric. There was a point in time I was just like, yeah, I don't like Eric. And not to say Virginia don't help the situation with some of the things that she believe in and the things that she stand for, but I don't like Eric. Like, I really don't. No. So then we get to the house and Virginia's talking about what she's learned so far in marriages. That's like she has to actively continue to love because she's realizing that she can love someone and not like them. And I was just like, Virginia, I know. I could tell that you love Eric, but you don't really like him very much. Because he's not a likable person. I don't think he is. Like, he's very controlling. Especially when you're a certain type of woman, you're independent, you have opinions, you're not just sat there just not expressing yourself. Like, you have feelings and you want your feelings to be validated. When it comes to stuff like that, he's not a very likable person, and that is true. So she might love him, but she don't like him. And then he's just like, oh, I have to be patient with this one. First of all, stop talking to Virginia and about Virginia as if she is your child. This is what parents do. Be like, oh, but this is the one that's nice. And then this one, no, like, she's not an object of your life. This is your wife. What do you mean by you have to be patient with this one? So she don't even like you. Calm down. And then he's going to be like, oh, you know what I'm talking about. She is not your child, Eric. She is not your child. Not your child. Cool. Where am I with this thing? So then Eric is talking about the fact that he wants to be Virginia's #1. So based on that, I'm assuming that Virginia's sister-in-law, which is Eric's sister-in-law, has gone back and told Eric that Virginia doesn't think that Eric is her #1. And she was like, dude, it's been all but 6 weeks. We've known each other 2.5 seconds. Calm down. It's coming, but you can't force it to come. Like, you have to let her open up to you. No, but he wants to go in with a whole crowbar trying to get into this girl's heart and life. Like, no. Take your time. Calm down. Have a seat. There's a queue. Relax. So then they're in the kitchen making breakfast for their mans. And Virginia is talking about her marriage. And she was talking so loud. And I'm just like, can Eric not here? Because, like, the girls are here and the boys are there. And I'm like, y'all are talking mad loud. It didn't sound like it was a secret. I don't know if it's just editing, they turn the volume up on their side and stuff. But she was talking really loud. But she was talking about her marriage, and she was basically like, like, he wants to be there all the time, and sometimes she's just, I don't want you to touch me. And I was just like, excuse me? You don't want your husband to touch you? I know. Eric is not likable. He is not. If he was a likable person, she wouldn't be out here cringing at his touch. She wouldn't. So, Eric, while you're being patient, she's exercising the most patience, because I would have been gone. What was their date? What did they do? Did they go on a walk? They just went on the beach to sit down? I don't know. They did something. I have no clue. But they're talking about decision day. And she's trying to pick his brain to see where he's at when it comes to decision day. And he was just like, why would I tell you no when I could tell you later? Shut up, Eric. Just shut up. And then he's just like, oh, sometimes you seem like you don't care, what's not. And I'm just like, Eric, you know what it is? Because I have seen Eric's behavior with him being so controlling and stuff. Like, I no longer have any emotions to even care about what he thinks or how he feels. And that's probably a bad thing. But I don't. Let me drink some water. I really don't. He gets on my nerves. I don't like the way he gaslights the way she feels. And the fact that he wants to oppress her voice, talking about, don't talk to me like this on camera. Big man, who are you? Who are you to be out here talking about stuff like that? Who are you? And then Virginia comes into confessionals, I think, saying that they've been fighting so often lately. Like all the fights have just been happening over and over and over again. And I'm just like, that's okay. Let's fight and see how we resolve these fights. I think that's a healthy thing to do in a relationship. So then they're at dinner eating the crabs, and they ask, like, what changes do you think are gonna happen after decision day, blah blah blah. And Virginia didn't even let the question drop before Virginia was just like, I'm not moving into that condo. I was just like, tell him, sis. I was just like, she was not here for it. She was just like, we're not even gonna pretend. This is not a discussion we're about to have, because I am not moving in. And she said what she said. That's it. So then Eric now get vexed. So Eric started to hold sis hand fingers. I was just like, Virginia, be careful he break them, you know. He just sit on there and just squeeze them because your hair embarrassing the family. Why are you embarrassing the family? Oh my gosh. She then continues to say, you think it's gonna take a long time, so I suggest you start looking. I was just like, A-star advice. Come on. Start looking. You think it's gonna take long? Do something about it. Do something about it. Then he's just like, goes into conversations I was talking about. He is not the type of guy that gives ultimatums. Like, I was just like, Eric, have you been watching the last episodes that we have been seeing? Have you been there? You are the king of ultimatums. That's all you give. All you ever give is ultimatums. So what are you talking about? Like, you give ultimatums a lot. This is why she's so damn uncomfortable as well. The last thing that happened with them that I found worth mentioning, sis tries to bring the cats in the bed when her husband has told her that he's allergic to the cats. Virginia, why is this a conversation? And this is why I can never stick up for either one of them, because Eric has his way, but Virginia is so interesting. If Virginia wants to sleep at her guy friend's houses, and now Virginia wants to bring the damn cats in the bed, and the guy said he's allergic. No, we know he's not allergic, because in season 2, episode 2 or 3, he was just like, his friends have to tell him if they have a cat. Like, listen, if you are allergic to cats, as you step by the door, you'll be sneezing and coughing, eyes running. You're not allergic to cats, but you say you're allergic to cat. Virginia, do you expect him to just be drinking Claritin medication for the rest of his life because of these damn cats? And I'm on his side with this because I don't like cats, and that's a lie I would spin the hell out of if somebody I was dating had cats. I'd be like, I'm allergic. What? I don't care. I would say I'm allergic. So she's acting, I'm like, they have to sleep with me. No, they do not. Get those cats a bed. Tell them go sit on the scratch post. So anyways, now we're talking about Haley and Jacob. And in the beginning scene, Haley brings back the bracelet. It took 24 hours. And I was like, Haley is no good. Like, she is no good. Like, it didn't even take you that long to bring it back. So that means you could have got that bitch there. Even if you don't want to wear it, it could have been sat there. And I'm just like, I hope Jacob kept the receipt. You know, $800. $800. Get your money back. Get your money back. Return that shit and get your money back. You don't cast your pearls before swine. And yes, Haley, I'm calling you swine. Because you're acting like somebody that does not know how to value somebody. So, Jacob, just remember, don't cast your pearls before swine. She didn't deserve it. And that's it. She didn't deserve it. So, Jake turns up at the house first, right? He's the first one to get there. And Jake is just like, yeah, I'm hungry, so ain't got no steak, so let me just fry up some eggs. Jacob ate 8 eggs. You know what? His insides must be horrible. Like, Jacob, like, man, I love this dude. He seems like an amazing guy, but his diet, like, I know I touch on it every single review, but 8 eggs. 8 eggs. 8 eggs. Jacob, what's wrong? 8 eggs. Hell, I love eggs. I can eat eggs any time of the day. And I mean, when I say any time of the day, 24 hours, any time of the day, I can eat eggs. But 8 eggs. So, no, that is funny. So then Haley turns up after, and she feels bad that he had 8 eggs. Jake had to be like, are you upset that I'm eating? Sis, is it your stomach and your digestive juices? What is going on? Like, why are you so mad? Why are you mad, though? Why are you mad that Jake is having 8 eggs? So she's like, you know, I was going to cook for the group and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, that was today? She's like, yes, it was. Sis, this girl and turn around and just cook some pasta and red tomato sauce. I was just like, let me tell you something, right? First of all, let Jacob eat his eggs. If all you're gonna cook is pasta in red sauce. I thought this girl about to put on a whole Gordon Ramsay type of shit. Pasta in red sauce. I'm like, oh, I'm cooking for the group. I'm cooking. Sit down. Let the guy eat his eggs and then have his pasta after. It doesn't even look like she gave him any. Listen. She was like, you eat already, you're not getting any more. I'm just like, okay, cool. So then they sit down to have the pasta that Haley made. And, you know, everyone is going to be talking about what they learned. and Jacob was saying what they learned, Haley interrupt him. Haley, what wrong? Let the dude speak. Let him speak. So Jacob had to be like, okay, so you tell them what I've learned since you have the answer. I was just like, Jacob did not come to play with this chick this weekend. Oh, was it a weekend? A week? Whatever. However long. I was just like, Jacob, like, you upset. Like, he is not here for the shenanigans. He was just like, listen, you can tell them what I learned since you know. And I'm just like, why are you being so catty in front of everyone? Like, she's so mean. And it looks even worse, like, with everyone there. Because, like, when it's just them, they're going back and forth. You're just like, okay, they're having a squabble. But, like, in front of other people, like, she's, like, literally embarrassing him and herself. Don't get it twisted. And herself, because it's an embarrassing behavior. So, then Haley said she had personal growth. I don't know where she grew. But she said that she had personal growth. So, I guess she had personal growth in it. So then Jacob was just like, this has been like a long, bad first date. I was just like, Jesus. So then Virginia is like, so like 95% challenging. He was like, 97. Jacob was not here to play with her. Jacob was not here to play with her. And I was just like, damn. So they then went on to play a game called Mathology, and even through all that dysfunction, Haley and Jacob won the game. And I was just like, this means that you guys could work if you guys were willing to actually walk on it together, because they remember almost everything that each other said. Like, they played the game amazingly, and I'm just like, that means you guys could have worked. The both of you are just maybe too stubborn. Haley is a very annoying person. And Jake is just like, I've reached my ends. Like, Jake is like checked out at this point. So then they're writing a letter stuff that Dr. Viviana said, and they're writing a letter stuff that Jake and that Dr. Viviana asked them to write, and they wrote such lovely things about each other. And I'm just like, you guys are confused. Like, what's going on? Like, she wrote a letter or a message or whatever about Jake that made him just sound like the perfect husband, and then he wrote about her that made her sound like the perfect partner. And I'm just like, why are you guys doing this then? Like, you see all of these good qualities and you're not walking on it no way. So they go out on their date, they go out and they get the crabs or what's not. They went on a date, they went on a boat, and they caught crabs. Caught crabs, sorry. They caught the crabs, and basically that's what they had for dinner. So the girls have sat, convening and what's not. They go back out, and then the scene changes, and at the dinner, Jacob is rinsing Haley. And I'm literally gonna put it here because I was just like, cue dramatic music.
You came in, you started bitching at me about eating eggs.
I didn't think I was bitching.
You were bitching. You had a nasty tone and said, what are you doing?
When?
Why are you eating? You have a very smug and sort of dismissive tone with me a lot, so it's hard to get along with you.
You think it's easy to get along with you? Because
Yeah,
it's not.
it is.
No, it's
When
not.
You're not smug and nasty.
I don't think that I've been smug and nasty.
You've been smug and nasty. So that's why I just stayed out of your way.
And I'm just like, this dude did not just call her smug and nasty, and he even called her a bitch. He told her, like, you were acting like a bitch. I was just like, how did we go from writing such nice things about each other and then him dissing you like that? But then we found out that the letter writing was after the diss. So it was just the way they edited it. Because I was just like, did they go backwards? They went on a date, they wrote letters, and then came back, and then we found out that he was rinsing into her. Jake was just like, no. I think Jake is so over it. Jake has found his voice. Jake is so happy that we're so close to decision day that Jake is just like, I am ready to speak. We get to the next day, and everybody wake up, and guess what? Jake is gone. Jacob has left the building. He left like the thief in the night. He didn't tell anybody. He was just like, yeah, this was fun. Nice knowing you. And he was gone. And I was just like, listen, I don't know what's going on. This is basically the end of my review. I don't know what's going on, but let me tell you how all of the couples have problems. Like, the closer they are to decision day, now everybody has holes and nobody knows if they want to stay. No one knows if they want to go. I don't even know what's gonna happen. I don't know what is gonna happen. And I did see some spoilers where Paige and Chris were undecided about whether or not they're gonna be together. And Dr. Viviana was just like, yeah, nah, we cut. We're not doing that over here. But I just need to see if that really happened, because if Paige does that, that girl is an idiot. But anyways, guys, this has been my review of episode 15. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe in the comment section. Y'all tell me what you think. I am so glad this season is almost finished. I have gotten tired of it. I don't know what's going on with any of these couples anymore. But yeah, let me know what you think. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.